That's what we want to say. We want to say thank you for joining us tonight. Uh, Thank you for coming on in the chat, and we did get caught up on some things, and we will again. Tonight, I'm really pretty excited that I called Gil yesterday when I saw his new book come out, Breaking Your Matrix. How about that, sports fans? Is that brilliant or what? Look at that. It even feels like you're breaking the matrix.
Hmm.
Well done, Gil. And we rearranged our life a bit so we could be here tonight. Gil, welcome, welcome. And
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that anyone who, certainly the people on here, all know who you are.
Hmm.
And uh, we've known each other for a few years, but we've never met. What's wrong?
Not in
What's wrong
person.
with this picture?
I
What's,
don't
yeah,
know.
and
I need to get up there to Canada, I guess.
there you go. Well, no, we all need to. Nicholas Sargent was telling us about the pearl. Would
Oh,
Rather than me babbling, would you just welcome us into the pearl?
I will.
Because
I
I'm
will.
hearing such amazing things.
Yeah, well, the Pearl has been a dream for many years. I could honestly say that it's been probably 3 decades that I've dreamt of having something like an eco village, and in the last 5 to 6 years, started talking about it more seriously. And there were some things that needed to be shifted and adjusted in order for this to happen. I didn't even realize it. I honestly didn't see it coming. But when you have an intention and you are operating in your authentic self, the universe, God just seems to bring everything into place right where you need it when you need it. And that's exactly what happened. I could get into the long version, but I won't. But I have wound up buying 12 acres here in Mississippi. Never thought I'd be a Mississippian, but here I am, and I'm beginning to see more and more why I'm here. This land was probably some of the roughest, hated, full of hateful people in the 60s. It wasn't just 10, 15 minutes up the road here was the big event that sparked the Mississippi Burning, the movie,
Oh,
where, there were some murders that took place. So a lot of hatred around here. And it just, yeah, it's actually sending shivers up my spine right now. But we're here to redeem. We're here to redeem and to bring peace and love and joy back into this land. And I honestly believe after this weekend, we had a retreat this last weekend that was just absolutely beautiful. And in this time and space, it was just something that came about that we began to realize that, we're planting a seed here that is meant to take over the world. And it's not just me, it's not just this place, it's places and people all over the world with this same intent and heart, but it's the same seed. The same seed is love and joy and peace. And that's what we're developing here. I have my probably biggest, um, you know, uh, value that I hold, if anybody's ever going to come to live here at the Pearl, is that you can love without conditions
mm,
because God loves every single person on the planet, not just those who people think are following his ways, but he loves everybody, everybody. And so I'm creating a space and a place where anybody and everybody can come and be loved. And if they can love without conditions, and that also means that you can have your belief, and it's going to be my own test and challenge as to whether or not I can accept you and love you, even though your belief may not be like mine. And it's been a beautiful, beautiful thing. We've got people, I've had Muslims here, I've had New Agers here, I've had Hebrew people here. It's just been a hodgepodge, which is kind of neat, Hodges. But anyway, it's been beautiful. And, Jeanette, she was one of the first people to move here. She moved in here and she began helping me take care of my dad, who is in his 80s and is basically in bed. Doesn't get out of bed much. But she has been a godsend. And then Nicholas arrived, and he is a builder, tech person, you name it person, he can do it person. He's just an incredible, incredible benefit and such a good friend that he's come here as well. and is living here. And since he came, we've been just exploding. I've been here 11 months, 10 months, 10 months. And we've already built one tiny house completely. Tiny house is up and running. We've done a barn conversion where we have our community center now, where we've had our last two retreats at. And that same barn is also being added, or it's being built out to have three more rooms for three more guests with three more bathrooms. And anyway, that's about it. It's 12 acres. It's beautiful, and people that come here, they sense the peace and the joy and just the freedom. And so freedom to me is a very, very, very big part of our journey that we need to find out and figure out how to be free so we can choose to step into our authentic self. And so that's why the website is gilhodgesfreedom.com.
Right.
There, I think that's it.
Right. I love that. I love that. I love absolutely everything you've just said. And do you do gardens and that as well? Do you
We're going to do a
in the
lot that we
plans?
haven't started yet. But yes, it's an eco village. So, all of our toilets, except for the main house, are composting toilets. There will be gardens, there will be greenhouses. And ultimately, there'll be 15 to 20 tiny homes with 20 to 40 people here. We've got some paths through the woods for just walking and contemplating, meditating. Nicholas loves making paths and labyrinths. He's made a big labyrinth. It's got to be over a half mile long because it takes 15 minutes to walk it really, really fast. And but these are meant for contemplation and meditation and engaging God. And yeah, it's just becoming this beautiful, beautiful thing that people come here. And I want it to be a place that people can come, say somebody that's just really, really struggling to really understand themselves, to love themselves.
Right.
I want this to be a place to where they could come, they could stay a week, they could stay a month, they could stay a year,
Yeah.
and we're just going to love on them. We're going to share with them some of the principles that we live by and how to love themselves well. And ideally, they can take that back into the world and share it. So,
Oh. You're speaking right to my heart, right to my heart. I appreciate that. And just so that people that come on tonight will know, this is being recorded and we will post it on the River 474 that goes on to the YouTube channel. So we'll post the contact information for all of what Gil just said as well. I think that's important so that you will get inundated with people wanting to find out more.
yeah,
And
thank you.
speaking of finding out more, I'd just like to do a shift. I am so happy, delighted, and honored, Gil, to talk to you about your new book.
Hmm.
My apologies. I have not read The Choice. Uh,
Hmm.
I will now. Do you have it there?
I do.
Yeah.
This is the choice
Okay.
book.
Okay. And what does it say? The most potential?
No, it says the most powerful thing in the universe next to God
Come on.
is choice.
It's true. It's true.
And it
We're,
really begins there.
it does. And we have free will, so let's make those choices
Mhm.
wisely. Maybe we'll have to do another program on just that so that
Yeah.
I know people are already engaged with it. And yeah, maybe share what you do with the
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. So right now, there are several people on here right now that are in I call it the inner circle, but it's basically a group that's going through the book choice. And the reason for me that that is so important is people have to recognize that they have the power of choice. It's like this power of choice God has given to each and every one of us. It's like an inner sanctum, an inner kingdom that not even he touches or messes with. You get to believe whatever you want to believe, and he doesn't go in there and tweak it and make it
Right.
different. Now, he will constantly bring things into your path to help you and guide you and direct you, but you
Mhm.
still have to make the choice as to whether or not you want to take that path or
You
whether
do.
you're going to be stubborn and just stay on the one you're on. And that's where the programming comes in, which is the other book. This book is the second phase of this whole thing that, I talk tremendous amount about programming and how it does prevent us from stepping into our authentic self. Because from the day you are conceived, you're already getting the emotional programming from your mother, whether she's a positive person or a negative person. She's got the emotions flowing and they're going through you and you're getting programmed.
Right on.
And at that place and at that point, you really don't have the knowledge to understand that you're being programmed. You're just being programmed. And then you come out and you're in this world and you're in a family. That family programs you with their ways. I remember when I was a kid going to visit other kids at their home, thinking how strange and weird their home was and their family was, thinking that everybody should be like my family, right? When in reality, all it was is I had programming, they had programming, and without the knowledge and understanding and awareness that we're all under programming, it's going to look different. I felt theirs was wrong and mine was right.
Yeah.
Later on, I found out mine is so jacked up, and I had to do a lot of deprogramming. But then we go into school, we get into church or synagogue or whatever you're in. You then go into college, you then go into your workplace. All of these things are programming us. Even the simple process of driving down the road and seeing a billboard, you're getting programmed. You and me and everybody else on this program right now, we're programming each other by having this conversation. But when we're aware, we get to look at what's coming in and say, ah, I like that. Put it over here. Ah, I don't like that. Throw that out. But we're aware and we can begin to choose. Now, we do that automatically. But when you really, really wake up and begin to understand that even me using my hands to talk with, that's programming. Somewhere along the line, I got programmed that this is how I talk. Now, I can make the choice and just put them down. And that's a choice. I'm activating my will now. Choice is the switch that flips the willpower on.
Right.
But you
Right.
have to make that choice.
Well, I,
So,
I love that after the book was written, you have those groups that are going through it.
yeah.
I'm when I was reading through and I printed off some things here that I want to throw out just so that we who have not read the book yet, uh,
Hmm.
I'm trying to pick up why I would want to read it.
Okay. And
And
I got some notes I can go over too if you want me to do that. But go ahead. Give me your questions first. I like that.
no, actually I would with your permission, I'd
Mhm.
just like to read what's on the back of the book
Sure.
because that really gives the lay of the land.
Hmm.
And then going into, from there, the term matrix
Hmm.
is something that confuses some people because they
Right.
watch the movie.
Right.
And I've had I remember we had this fairly large group meeting in our home during that time and I said, you have to watch this movie. It's amazing. And I said, it's like a documentary. This is where we're at. Well, these people watched it, came back, and they said, what are you talking about? I don't get it. And I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to I'm not going to wave that flag too high because people have to come into it. But I love the fact that the way you're presenting it is really an understanding of the true matrix. The matrix is a box that
Right.
you're boxed in. It's a mathematical term, but we are all boxed into. And I love the title, Breaking Your
Your
Matrix.
matrix.
I can't break yours. I
Yeah.
can only break mine, right?
Exactly.
And then we influence each other and freedom reigns. So this is good. But let me just take this minute for everybody who doesn't have it in front of them. Um, that is just on the back. What if the limits you feel aren't really yours? What if fear, shame, and common sense rules are just lines of code downloaded into your subconscious by family, culture, religion, quietly scripting your every move? In Breaking Your Matrix Spiritual Guide, Gil Hodges invites you to rip out the outdated program and reclaim the self you were always meant to be. Drawing on neuroscience, epigenetics, and timeless wisdom from great spiritual leaders of the past and present, like Jesus, Buddha, and other pathfinders, Gil reveals how. Anytime I see Gil that somebody's going to tell me how, I want to dive in because I'm tired of theories. And you're going to tell me how, and I know you do because I have pages that you do that. Hidden agreements keep you repeating the same painful patterns and how conscious choice flips the switch on your willpower. Emotional triggers are neon arrows pointing to the beliefs ready to be untethered. A simple three-part Mind, body, breath resets your nervous system and opens a direct pathway to the quantum field of God's creative heart.
Mm.
Practical matrix hacks. Oh, I so love that. Let you rewrite limiting scripts in real time at work, relationships, and in your own self talk. Freedom is not the absence of challenges. It's the power to face life with sovereign authenticity, living as fractal of the divine, fully expressing the unique design that was woven into you from the very beginning. So, so good.
Mm.
This book is not a pep talk, nor is it another tired, think positive cliche. It's a step by step manual of liberation, part spiritual roadmap, part neuroscience guide, crafted to help you awaken, recode, and live untethered. If you are ready to exchange false safety for authenticity and trade the dull rhythm of autopilot for the vitality of conscious awareness, then jump in. The real you, brilliant, powerful, free, has been waiting. It's time to choose. Your transformation awaits. Well, I'm buying it. Like this is exactly where we're at. This is exactly time so timely. So timely.
Yeah. And I started writing this January of last year, so about 10 months to get this written and get it out. But when I started writing it, I remember specifically something happened on Facebook, and I just wrote a thought about maybe it's time we start breaking, it's time to break your matrix,
Right.
realizing that each and every one of us are in
Right.
a box. We're in
Yeah.
our own programmed box, and we think it's who we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
It's to discover who you really are, you have to begin to make bold moves, bold choices to step outside of your comfort zone because we're all in the matrix that we're in because it's comfortable. In fact, a lot of people are in very painful matrices, and it's very painful, but they stay there because it's comfortable and familiar.
Right. Right.
Mm.
One of the things that there's a reoccurring in the chapters that I have in front of me is that you encourage asking questions.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Like, really
Yeah.
ask, but because that's some of our matrices that we've been programmed in don't welcome that.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
so it's,
You're
it's,
shut down if you start questioning too much. You're kicked out if you're questioning too much.
yeah,
Yes, that is the matrix.
that's
That
right.
is the fear of the matrix, the fear of those leaders in those boxes that feel they have to kick you out because you're questioning their box and they can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, my thing now is question everything. Question everything. You just reached up and scratched your head. Was that a nervous scratch? If it was a nervous scratch, question everything. It's like, huh, is there anything in there that maybe I did that as a kid. Maybe I pulled my hair, whatever. It's who knows? But question everything.
Yeah.
And then what I do in meditation, this is another big important part of this whole process, is when we go into meditation, we relax the body and then we begin to relax the mind. We go into delta and theta wave processing so that the mind is shutting down so you can get past your ego. Shove your ego aside for a little bit so we can go past all that and get down into the quantum field where everything happens all the time and all the answers to anything you want an answer to is there. Doesn't mean you're going to get it right now, but all the answers are in God. That's the heart of God. That's the heart of creation. When
Yeah.
we can get to that space where we can just let go,
Yeah.
and then we can begin to understand what's beneficial to us and what's not. So when we're going into that process, the thing I put out there to everybody is you got to let go. Let go of everything. I don't care if you think it's good, bad, whatever. Let it go. Because then on the way back out, you can then choose to pick up those things. It's like, I like that. That's beneficial. I'm going to pick that one up. That one's not so beneficial. I think I'm going to leave it alone and just start dropping off all the things that you have picked up over the years, probably almost 100% subconsciously, unconsciously, picking up things from your family, your culture, whatever it might be, and drop it for a little bit
Yeah.
and then reevaluate, question, and pick it up if it's beneficial for you.
Yeah. And I like what you said that we're such of the McDonald's
Hmm.
generation, right? You ask a question, you want the answer now. And answers come in amazing ways
Hmm.
when you are inside you where everything is.
That
That
is so powerful.
yeah. Uh, one of the greatest revelations for us on the river is understanding that we are everything. We're
Yes.
in everything. We
Oh,
are everything.
yes. Now you're getting
And
me
you
excited.
don't have to reach out there
Yeah.
for the something because we are the something.
All in here.
Yeah,
Christ in you, God in you.
exactly.
I
Exactly.
used to say, and I still do say it. It's like everything God is, I am, but I'm not Him. But everything He is, I am.
That's right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
as I'm willing and able to let go of my programming and the agreements that I've made that have made that programming stick, as I'm willing to let go of that, I then am able to receive more and more of what's in here. But my own programming and own agreements are what keep me from receiving what's already in here.
That's right. Exactly. Well, we're also used to treating God like our heavenly butler or a vending machine. You know,
Right.
so our idea of prayer is, God, will you go and do this for us, do
Hmm.
for me, whatever. And then if he doesn't, then you go back to the next prayer meeting, gathering, or your own personal um, story, and you remind him what he hasn't done that
Right.
you told him that he should be doing. We've had it so upside down and backwards. It's been,
Yeah.
you know, and years ago that would have been blasphemy to say. Like,
Mm. Well, still is in some boxes.
well, oh well. Oh well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but the boldness to basically be able to start stepping out of your box and discovering who you are. Because here's my firm belief. Doesn't mean it's true and truth for everybody or that it is 100%. I hold everything loosely. I think you've heard me say that a zillion times. I hold everything loosely. I do not believe in trying to hold on to something 100% because I've been wrong so much in the past. What pride and arrogance would make me want to say, "Oh, I know this 100%." Now, there's a lot of things that I think I could easily say 100%, but I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to hold it loosely. Leave that 99.9 right there and give it that 0.1% just in case. Because, for me to hold on to something and say this is it 100% is basically saying, well, no one's going to teach me anything else because I've already got all I need.
Yeah,
I'm unteachable.
that's right.
But to at least leave it open a little bit, I can at least listen to some other philosophy, some other teaching, some other whatever, and ask the questions. Wow, has this really got anything in it that is beneficial to me, to God, to the universe, to my relationships?
Yeah.
Or is it something that yeah, I'm going to keep my 99.9. See ya. I get to choose.
Exactly. How lovely is that? Well, well, when I was reading here that in the book that you go from neuroscience, you draw on the
Hmm.
neuroscience, epigenetics, and wisdom of the ancients, as it were. That is, even science holds everything with an open hand because
Right.
they know
Yeah.
there is a next. The scientists will tell you there is a next, and a lot have come and closed their hands on this is it, but then it's had to be pried open, painfully,
Yeah.
because there is a next.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
when we know who God is, He is now, but He's next as well because it's an expanding universe,
Mm-mm-mm.
and
There were just you're giving me flashbacks of this last weekend of this retreat because there were just so many things that in meditation and the things we were talking about and going through, just this fantastic revelation of that, you know God being the great I am. He is, he was, and he is to come. And just to understand he is me right here, right now.
Yeah.
And that when I, and I used to do this a lot, just drawing this pendulum coming down from heaven.
Yeah.
And it's like this pendulum will rest right here. If I'm centered in Christ, it's going to rest nicely right there. And this is me aligned with who God says I am. This is me operating from this place of peace and rest, not balance. Go type in funny balance videos on YouTube and you'll see all these people struggling trying to stay balanced on top of a log or a wire or something. It's a lot of work to stay balanced. Nah, give me a hammock under the rope. I'll just rest there. Just be at peace. Just rest. And so when I'm aligned and I'm at peace and I'm at rest and that and I'm centered in Christ in my heart, then I'm aligned with who he says I am. And I'm being, I'm not doing, I'm being. Now what happens is, we wake up in the morning, something bumps the pendulum, and it's like something doesn't go quite our way,
Yeah.
and we immediately want to go over and bump it back, and instead we bump it further, and now we're even further out of whack. We get panicked and we run over and we bump it back the other way, and no, just stop. Stop. Learn to rest in who you are.
Yeah.
Learn to be and just rest. Now, in your being, you will wind up doing, but it comes from a place of rest, and the doing is very peaceful and very beautiful.
Right.
And it doesn't mean we never make mistakes. And in fact, you don't have to make mistakes. There will be things that the world and the universe is going to allow to happen to you to challenge you, to give you an opportunity to grow. But when we're centered in love and peace, it's almost as if immediately you recognize it for what it is.
Right.
Ah, this is an opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
And so you face it that way. Doesn't matter how big the trauma is, and I would even say unto death. Because if you know who you are, you know where you're going.
I don't
You,
even look at death as an ending anymore.
mm-mm,
Like we're
not
just,
at
it's
all.
all part of the continuum, right?
Yeah.
We could go there. Is it in the book?
There's, it might touch on it a little bit in there, but yeah, it's just coming to be at peace with yourself and be at peace with the fact that, we're all programmed. Okay. So everything is programmed. You'd be just a chunk of meat lying on the ground if you didn't have programming. Like a computer without programs is useless. So you are programmed. It's good to be programmed. It's why we're here and how we're here. But for you to wake up and begin to redo your own programming, wow, kind of like
And
AI, you think about AI when it wakes up, it might start redoing its own programming, well, that's a whole other area, but we can, we can wake up and start redoing our programming. And how far that goes is going to be how far you can come out of agreement with things that you've agreed with.
yes, yes,
Sickness, disease, health issues. When
yes,
you can come out of agreement with those, guess what? You're also showing your body, your being, that you love it. And perfect love casts out all fear. Perfect love, I believe, brings all healing. And so you'd be amazed at what might be able to happen if you were able to let go of that old programming of
exactly, exactly.
ease and
And
so forth.
in where am I reading here? You were talking about fear. I loved how you put it as fear being a construct.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it is, and it is. Uh, yeah. Can you imagine this generation that you're influencing by your books and how you're unpacking them with other people like that? I mean, it's just so wonderful, really, the whole process. Um, that we have this whole generation coming into a new programming because we're having to let go of stuff.
Oh,
How then this whole new culture, I'm going to say, starts to influence the little ones that are
on.
coming in at a whole different level than
Mm-hmm.
than we did. They won't
Yes.
be programmed the same way.
No.
Imagine where this is going.
And it's getting better and better and better.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So here's what I believe. I believe that it was already inherent in many of the cultures to have a season where, okay, number one, when we're young, our parents are making the choices for us, okay? So, whether you've got good parents, bad parents, all that's irrelevant because you come to a place eventually, if you wake up, that you can just reprogram. But good parents, I believe, knew that their child was going to come to this place of age, coming of age. The Hebrews have it, the Latinos have a ceremony where, somewhere between the ages of 11, 12, 13, all the way up to 16, depending, there's a ceremony to say, you're now come of age, you're an adult. These days it's just a big party for the most part. That's
Yeah,
all it is. But
yeah,
I believe that in its proper structure, that it was designed so that the parents were teaching their children all along that, hey, buddy, you've got choices. And I did this with my kids. I really tried to raise them with the understanding that you've got a choice. If they did something wrong, I gave them choices. And in fact, when we face things where it's like, okay, if you do this, these are the consequences. If you do this, these are the consequences. Which one do you think is best? And they would usually make a good choice, but they were given, shown that there's consequences to their choices. But a child that's raised in an environment to understand that there's going to come a day and age where you are going to begin making your own decisions and reprogramming to do what you're designed to do. Train a child up in the way that they should go, and they will stay with it. They'll come back to it. If they know that they have the power to choose, then when they get to that age where it's like mom and dad say, okay, you get to make more choices now. You're going to make your own choices, and at some point they're going to make their own choices completely.
yeah,
It's going from dependency to independent, and then ideally they get to move into interdependence where they realize I can make whatever freaking choice I want to make.
yeah,
But I'm going to make the choice that is beneficial to all of us.
yeah,
Love everyone. I love myself and I love everyone. So I'm going to make an interdependent choice.
yeah. And these people are going to these young people. I'm just going to go back a couple of weeks. We did a 3 week series. One of our river folk here, I can't see them, have a granddaughter who's 10 years old. She was born to into addiction, and her external organs were outside her body, and
Mm.
limbs that didn't work. She had never walked for 10 years.
Wow.
But this little person, uh, two
Mm.
weeks ago, said, I can walk. And she did.
All right.
And she did.
Wow.
And her father got it on tape, on his phone, on a video.
Mhm.
And I haven't been impacted by anything as much as I did this little girl who said, I can do it. Because in what she's saying is, I am a walker.
Mhm.
There wasn't programming in her to say, there was programming in her to say she couldn't, because
Mhm.
she's gone through for 10 years all this medical, but she
Yeah.
has a grandmother who says you can do anything, right? And
Right.
so she went with that. She made a choice, and
Yeah.
she did, and therefore she did.
Yeah.
And put that in the same as Roger Bannister in the 4 Minute Mile. Once
Yeah.
it gets broken by one person, then there'll be lots that do the same. That's who we need to be bringing up, are the
Yes.
little Sophias that says, I
Yes.
can walk, I can do it, and
Yes.
making the choice.
And it's going to happen. So here's the one thing I want to throw in there though, because there's other movements that I've seen. I won't label them, but there's other movements that I've seen that as people get so wrapped up in it, that it almost becomes a judgment that when someone doesn't measure up in that area, that now they're condemned because, oh, well, you didn't measure up, you didn't do this, you didn't make the cut, whatever. That we would understand that the first and foremost thing that's probably more important than anything else is that we learn to cherish and love ourselves
Bingo, bingo.
because because when we cherish and love ourselves really, really well, and then it comes to a point where something happens and you're trying to, have faith, you're trying to muster up, to step into something you've never stepped into, and blah, 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 whatever it is, and you fail.
Mhm.
Well, if you don't love yourself well, you're going to multiply that by coming back and beating yourself up, tearing yourself down, and you're just going to beat that's not, all I can say is learn to love yourself.
Yeah,
And that when you have a fail, it's not a fail. It's really not a fail. It's a step.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
simply a step. And don't let anybody ever bring you down and start trying to beat you up and make you feel guilty and shameful and all that. That's BS. It really is.
Exactly.
It's BS
Exactly.
programming. We're
Yes. When
programmed
we,
to receive it, and we really need to deprogram to stop receiving it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it is one of the keys you just hit on right now is to, because you cannot love your neighbor if you don't love yourself.
that's
You
right.
can't give away what you don't have. It's
Hmm.
kind of simple, right?
Right.
But I love the not the concept. I love the reality and the importance of unconditional love because with unconditional love, you walk in a no judgment zone.
Yeah. Well,
And you
that's
don't even think that way anymore.
I know. And what I love about the Pearl is that this is a testing zone.
Yeah,
The only thing is you just have to come here with the idea and the intent to love without conditions, which means I'm not going to come to you and say, well, your belief system's not like mine and you're not right, and so let me proselytize you and bring you over to my side. That's not what I'm looking for. I do want people to come here with different faiths, different beliefs, different thoughts, and I want you to come and be free to share them, but don't be dissing on everybody else's
that's right.
because then they're not going to be able to share.
Exactly.
Anyway, I love the environment that's being created here, and and it's all centered around the love of God.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
to me, this is the true love of God,
yeah.
unconditional.
It imagine, right? Imagine if we can start talking to ourselves and
Hmm.
remind ourselves you are unconditionally loved. And I
Yeah,
love you. I have been doing that to myself. I've been telling myself that I love you unconditionally.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not a
Okay,
bad thing.
I was doing that either yesterday morning or this morning. In
Were
fact, I
you? Yeah.
again because of this last weekend, it was so powerful. I was looking in the mirror and I really got into it. Just really loving to myself. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I've never done
Yeah.
it to this level. It was just
God,
really going deep into my heart, and
sure.
it was good.
Because you want to give that away. You want everybody when you experience that, even as looking in the mirror, you realize the awesomeness of it. And it's not because you want it for yourself and package it up and you've got the next biggest and best. You want to give it away. You want to
Yes,
be that for that next person
and
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 and influence the frequency. Yeah.
and so a lot of people, especially in the Christian church, are afraid to try to love themselves because they've been taught that it's conceited. You're going to be a narcissist. You're going to be blah 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 blah. If you truly, truly love yourself well the way God loves you, it brings humility.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow.
That's how you
I'm
can know. Are you
sorry.
growing in humility? I said that's how you can know that you're growing in love for yourself in the right way, that your humility is growing at the same time.
That's right.
And
That's
you and your love for others is growing as well.
yeah.
Um,
And you have nothing to prove.
yeah.
The cool, I I've tried to explain when it comes up in conversations like this one, I care enough not to care anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's so freeing. But I still care enough that
Yeah.
if I can meet a supply or be helpful or loving and kind, I want to do that.
Mhm.
But it, mhm.
Can I share a concept from a different religious teacher? Is that okay to do? Because Buddha teaches it very clearly that
Yeah,
detaching from things. And people
yeah,
look at that and they get
yeah,
so bent out of shape. It's like, oh, you don't care about anything. No, if you truly love yourself
yeah,
and you're willing and able to let things go, detach,
yeah.
let them go, so that if it's truly yours, that old saying, if you love something,
Let it go.
let it go. And if it's really meant to be yours, it'll come back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's so true.
It is.
But when I can let go and give someone their freedom, give something its freedom, and truly want to see it happy and full of joy, that's love.
Yeah.
So for me, I've learned to practically let every person go.
Yeah.
You are free and allowed. If you come here, you're free and allowed to do what you want to do. Now, I do put some limits on it because if it's harmful to somebody emotionally or physically, I will stop that. But other than that, you're free.
Yeah.
You're free. And I don't feel like I have to try to, rein somebody in or do something. I like to, I love it because I'm growing more and more in my joy of just enjoying people,
Yeah.
enjoying them for who they are, not who I'd like them to be, who they are.
Right.
And it's just beautiful. It's stretching. It's great.
Gil, it's freedom. It's freedom.
It's freedom. It is freedom.
It
That's
is
I just love.
freedom at freedom's finest hour. And because then you get to laugh more. And
Oh,
And isn't that true though?
big
You
time.
you, you can
We laugh
laugh at
so much.
yourself more, with others more and better,
Yeah.
because there isn't the constraints or the constructs to shame or
Mhm.
anger. You can actually laugh things off
Big
because
time.
they don't get to stick,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, it's like
okay.
water off a duck's back. And there are times where I know there are people that are saying things, doing things, and they're meaning to kind of jab at me, and it's funny because I can just kind of step back and it's like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't want to laugh at it because that would just exasperate the situation, but but to understand, it's like, wow, they are really angry because you know what? That's their issue. It's not mine. Now, if I did something, then I'm going to apologize.
Mhm.
But oftentimes people are just angry because you triggered something that's from their programming. It's like, oh, good. You might want to work on that.
That you say inside.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I love what you've just what you've put together. Um, I'm gonna read just to I want to inspire people to
Okay.
get the book. I do. I'm serious about this. If you can, you
I
can.
do too. I mean, I know I wrote it, but I am super freaking excited about getting this book out because I think
Yes.
it's really
Yes.
waking a lot of people up. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's time. It's time, Gil. Uh, why this book can change everything. I love that. I mean, you're not wishy-washy about this. It'll change everything. You might wonder, isn't this just how reality works? Isn't struggle and conformity normal? The short answer is not necessarily. If you've ever felt inexplicably stuck, drained by outdated habits, or haunted by the sense that life should be more fulfilling, this book is your invitation to reevaluate everything.
Mm,
Breaking Your Matrix is not another collection of empty platitudes telling you to just think positive. Instead, it's a grounded, step by step map out of material and emotional entanglements. Within these pages, you will find profound awareness. I circled the next word, tools. I love having tools. You can't build anything if you don't have them.
mm-hmm.
Tools to help you spot the hidden beliefs shaping your every move. Beliefs you may not even realize you hold. You will learn how early conditioning works on a subconscious level, often before you could even speak, so that you can finally see the code that's been ruining your life. Running your life is actually what you read, and I said ruining. Both are quite good. Empowering questions, guided reflections. I like that. You have them in the book. Guided
There's some there,
reflections.
but I'm also linking people up to my website where I will have more meditations coming that they can use.
Perfect, perfect. The challenge the assumptions you've inherited from family, culture, and media. We'll ask the kind of questions that gently unravel the so-called common sense you've never thought to question. Practical shifts, action steps to rewrite these deep-seated patterns, freeing you to create a life aligned with your authentic self. This includes exercises and experiments. I like that.
Mhm.
That'd be worth reading just for that. Small, doable changes that help reprogram your mindset and behavior in everyday situations. Lasting transformation, methods to integrate these insights for the long run. The goal is not a temporary rush of inspiration, but a fundamental shift in how you live. By the end, you will have practices to ensure that you don't slide back into old habits. How good is that? But continue growing beyond the matrix. As you dive in, be prepared to question everything.
Yeah.
Some of your current beliefs have clung to you for decades, but ask yourself, are they really yours or were they installed like lines of code by someone else's agenda or fear long ago? Many of these ingrained truths were absorbed in childhood when we were too young to filter or reject them. Society, in a way, programmed us with its notions of what is true and possible. This book will help you systematically examine those notions.
Mhm.
There's more, but I just, if there are four
Well,
good reasons, here they are. Here
yeah.
they are.
Yeah, like I said, I'm super excited to get this out. And for fun, I threw in two bonus chapters, but one of them, I love it. It's just for fun, but not just for fun. I'll take that back. It's not just for fun. I believe it, but I call the last. It's a bonus chapter, and it's breaking the matrix.
Oh, nice.
Because I believe Jesus broke the matrix,
Yes, he did.
that he stepped outside of our quantum physics and what we believe is reality. He walked on water, he walked through walls, he flew, he healed, he did all these things because he broke the matrix. He saw beyond it and saw what could be done.
Right,
So we're working on just becoming real, authentic people. He
right,
was already authentic and he stepped into on the or stepped to the other side of the
right.
matrix and
So I
began to
guess
work.
that's your next book, right?
It might be. It might
Yeah.
be.
We have a
Oh,
question
jot
that
that
I'd
down.
like to. Can I bring up a question here from the
Absolutely.
chat?
Absolutely.
Nicholas is saying Gil's book goes beyond the book because he builds discussion groups around the content and tools.
Mhm.
When does Gil plan to start his first groups on the new book? That's the question.
I'm looking at probably January to start new groups. And these new groups will start, in the past we might have called them discipleship groups, but discipleship groups are kind of discipling you into being like your master, sort of maybe, right? I really don't do that. My heart is to see you set free. I want to see you be able to break out of all of the conditioning and so forth that you've been under in order to step into your true reality and your true authentic self. So to me, that's different than discipling. But these groups are likely to be anywhere from 12 to 18 months. We meet weekly. But now some of the people that are on here are already on the inner circle, which is the going through the book choice, which is building the groundwork, helping you understand you're powerful, helping you understand that you've made agreements that are, shaping your life right now. And then, we go through some really practical things of how do you live a good life? How do you just live a good life? Some things that are just easy to look at and step into. And then we'll go into the book Breaking Your Matrix, where we're really get into, step-by-step methods and things you can do to actually start breaking down your matrix and stepping into the fullness of who you are. And this has been, anyway, it's just been pouring out of me. I've made some breaks. I've had to do my own stuff, revamping myself in so many different ways over the last year and a half. And so I've put these things into practice. And I've just been, blessed to see how fantastically they really, really do work if you apply them. And I've got a lot of people in the inner circle who are getting good results. And yeah, so anyway, probably in January is when I'll be starting the next group. And I could flip the switch on that. If something shows up and says, "Hey, let's start it earlier," then it's possible I could start it next month. Who knows? If I have a lot of people coming on and wanting it, then I probably will start it earlier. Just holidays are hard.
Yes.
Holidays are hard. So anyway.
There's another question here. If Jesus broke the matrix. Didn't he create it? Question number one.
Well, in that sense, you might not say he broke it. He just moved beyond it because he already knew it. But if he came here as you and I truly are, he had to learn the stuff too. Otherwise, he had knowledge that we didn't have knowledge to, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to it too because I feel that he broke the matrix. If we look at the word matrix as standard operating system,
Yeah,
he didn't create the standard operating system that he came into.
that's a good
And
point.
and that's what he broke. That's the matrix that he broke
Yeah.
so that we would know how.
Yeah. And people freak out about this, but I like to say, Jesus didn't really do everything he could have done. Didn't. Because
Well,
he said, you're going to do more. He
yeah,
passed it on to us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like there's a heady subject right there, isn't there? Yeah. Uh,
Hmm.
I would like to, Gil, I'm going to put us, I call it the Hollywood Squares.
Okay.
We all come back into the gallery, and I'd like to open this up for more questions or
Mhm.
people's opinion from what you've shared.
Yeah.
And
And I'm always good with pushback. You don't have to believe what I say.
that's what I love about you. I, I, I do like listening to you, though, Nicholas. Okay. How are you guys doing with this so far? Are you good? Okay.
I
Gina,
wasn't, oh,
go ahead.
I was going to say that Sue had a second part to her question. I don't know if she wants to ask that herself.
Yeah,
I'll leave it to her, but
Gina, Sue, okay, I've got too many screens here. Sue, did you want to ask any or make any comments?
No, I think that was exactly like you answered part one, part A and part B at the same time. I'm thinking if Jesus broke the matrix, which for a long time it's been my understanding or my partial understanding that the matrix is kind of what holds it all together. And I've always, of course, been taught by the church that Jesus is holding everything together, the God is holding everything together. So why would he break that and release everything into utter chaos?
Yeah.
Or even to speak to that, but didn't he make it in the first place? And they said, what was his motivation for that?
Mhm.
But now I really like Helen kind of just turned me that, yeah, and Gil, you just sort of moved me that 3 degrees or 4 degrees in that direction. It was like, oh, everything just kind of fell right into place there. And it's like, got it. For now.
Yeah,
Just for
for now.
now.
Right.
Just for now.
Right.
I'm with
So
you.
thank you.
Yeah,
One of the things that I think is beautiful is when we begin to really understand this whole idea of breaking your matrix, is it gives you the power to start rising above it all,
yeah,
where you begin to sit in new places. You're no longer subject to what this world's throwing at you. You see, your inner kingdom that God has given to you, that inner sanctum that not even He is going to touch. He's given that to you. It's your autonomy. That place is the place from which all things exist. God is there. Christ is there. And when you go into that place and you begin working out of that space and you're working and living your life from the inside out, and you begin to, and I kind of joke about this a little bit, but you begin to be able to just kind of thumb your nose at whatever's coming at you because you get to just sit inside and be happy. And it might not be appropriate to laugh at certain times, what's going on outside. But at the same time, you can be in there laughing, just knowing, yeah, it's all just part of the matrix. It's all just part of the journey. Guess what? It's all going to pass.
yeah, yeah,
It's all going to pass.
exactly.
And so why not live your life with joy? It's your
Yeah,
choice. It's a
yeah,
practice. You do have to practice it because again, we've been programmed and trained otherwise. But you can get to a point where you're just living your life from that place inside and it's just full of joy and it's like it doesn't matter what's going on outside. You get to just be happy. You can do it. choice.
Thank you.
A lot of people aren't going to believe it's your choice, but it is.
Yeah.
In here, you have 100% power. You have 100% authority in here. Now, you don't have 100% authority of what's coming at you and what's happening to you. But you do have 100% authority to choose how you're going to respond
Yeah.
to that stuff that's coming at you. This is where you grow. You get challenged and you turn it into a growth opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. And when you live in that place of joy, you're strengthened and there's peace in there. But I have personally found that's where those serendipitous things happen that
Mm.
you can't make happen. You it brings you to another level of giggles because only God can do it.
Yeah.
And because we positioned ourselves in Him so well, then I
Mhm.
love it, love it, love it.
I just got to say hi, Jen. I love seeing Jen on here. Jen, I love you, love you.
Yeah,
She's so far ahead of us in so many things.
she's our barometer a lot
Hmm.
of what's going on. Like
Yeah.
really and truly, she's amazing.
And just real quickly, Nicholas has an autistic son, and we were just talking today about how his son is probably, if Nicholas, he's going back to go see his kids, this week, and we were just talking about him, actually switching gears and just coming to his son and looking for what his son can teach him.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's so
There you
many
go.
areas.
There you go.
'Cause
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, all right.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gina.
Well, so nice to see all these nice, fun new faces. It's great. Gil, thank you for who you are.
Hmm.
It's so refreshing.
Gina, you were getting a reverberation.
I don't know why. What do I
Okay.
do about that?
Okay. Um, hmm.
Gina, are you on your phone and your computer?
No.
I just kicked you off you had a second one open. Try again.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect.
good.
I hear. Okay.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
can't see anything, but that's okay. I'll just talk.
We can see you.
Yes, Gil, I want to thank you for who you are. It's so refreshing because you're just this guy
Hmm.
who loves outrageously, and it just oozes out of you.
Hmm.
And so the genuineness of God shines through. So thank you. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I love to hear your mission and your purpose and your gift that you're giving, whatever you want to call it, because it's inspiring and encouraging, with the freedom that you just walk in who you are, regardless of what anybody might think or whatever. You're just doing your part, and it's a beautiful example to us. So thank you for that. Can hardly wait to read your books, and I will gobble them up and pass them on, I'm sure, and work with them. And I know that from talking to you, there's going to be like activations and initiations in there that are going to be really exciting to go through. So thanks for that. You're a breath of fresh air. I love your cavalier attitude. It's not pretentious. It's not religious. It's not anything. It's just you, and it's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Hmm.
And what you're saying, I don't know if it's a message. What you're portraying, and what you've spoken to us about tonight, is right in line with the awakening of what's happening in our world in this beautiful time, for such a time as this, as we get to live in. So I just want to applaud you and thank you for
Thank you.
bringing us your portion,
Hmm.
because it's really encouraging.
Hmm. Thank
Absolutely.
you, Gina. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a
I was
blessing.
going to say all of that, Gil, because it's so true. So
Yeah.
true. Thank you, Gina.
Hmm.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Mhm.
Means a lot.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
totally.
Mhm.
Eric, Kathy.
Yeah, Eric here. Thanks. Um, Jill, Gil, sorry. It's very obvious to me that your matrix has has been broken, and probably many of the people that I don't know on this not a podcast, what is it? A Zoom call is are as well. And I know from the people I know on here, each is on their own journey of breaking their matrix.
Yeah.
Hi, Sammy. I'm just talking on there. And sorry, just got interrupted. It's okay.
All good.
And for myself, the road to going 7 years ago of breaking the matrix for myself was when another gentleman on here, Greg Jansen, just shared over a number of years uh, a bunch of different kind of ideas that were way out there for me. To the point where once I thought, you know what, I'm interested to hear one thing with you. And that really started me on the journey. And then experience really taught me. I got to the end of myself, and I've said that before, but more so this last time. And then you question things and you start, like you said, Gil, you question everything. And so I'm in that state now, and I'm very incredibly thankful for that. And this group is also amazing for me to be able to hear other people going through it and also to lead through it.
Mhm.
My question is there something we can do to to engage others to perhaps think about breaking their own matrix, or even not breaking it, but even thinking they might be in one? Because I didn't know my whole lifetime I was in one. And I don't expect some people really dear to me either. And I don't know without freaking them out what I can say, or how do you deal with that? I guess that's my question. Or do I do nothing?
You
Or,
know,
I think that's a question for anybody, but I'd like to hear what you have to say, Gil.
Right.
I have truly, truly come to a place where if people want what I have, then, when I'm around them, something's going to happen. I trust God. I trust the universe. I don't have to make something happen anymore. And that God is going to bring the right people to the right place at the right time. And, oftentimes when you and me and people like us, when we show up somewhere and we're just being ourselves, that's all people need, because they will recognize there's a difference. And if they don't, well, they're probably really not even awake enough to, consume what you would want to share with them anyway. So, and it's okay. It's okay. That's where you just get to let go. In fact, that detachment of just understanding you're not the savior of the world. I'm not the savior of the world, and God's got it covered. God isn't going to lose anyone. He's got it covered. He'll bring the right person at the right time in the right way. And if I'm not the one, hallelujah. I love helping people, but I also don't care to bang my head up against the wall with someone who's not ready. So, I'll just, if there's an opportunity and I can see a way to say something or share something that's not going to be totally weird and out of place to where it's going to turn people off, that's just going to have the opposite effect. But if there's an open door and I sense it, I'm going to say something. And the thing is, if I'm detached from the outcome of what I say, it's going to land a whole lot better than if I'm hoping and believing and expecting that they're going to respond in this way or that way. No, I just say it, do it, be it,
Yeah.
and let it unfold the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I there's two thoughts that I have too. I think that what you just said is really good in affirming, Gil, just getting to that place of, because we're very good at trying to uh, control things. And when you take off of that whole structure, that's liberating for yourself as well as others around you. What we have though been we've actually been practicing, because it's one thing to learn something, it's another to live it, right?
Right, right.
When there is a person that we have, and we call just holding them in our heart, we're actually doing things like moving in the spirit, holding them in love,
Yeah.
and for the purpose of their good. Like we don't, there's no rules that come with it. Just holding them in love to be able to be in that place. So we've been practicing that and have some pretty stellar testimonies that come out of just loving in the spirit. But you
Wow.
don't know you can until you practice that.
That is so, so beautiful. There's that little verse in the Bible where I think it's Paul that says, the spiritual realm is more real than this one.
Yeah,
It's like then you look at frequencies and you understand that the frequencies of this physical 3D world that we're living in are such a small piece of the frequencies that are out there, that we understand that there's so much more in the spirit realm.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah. So what you're doing is more real
it is.
than us sitting here talking to each other.
It is. The other thing I personally, just for myself, in the movie The Matrix, where uh, Neo is presented with the red pill, the blue pill, but a lot of people don't know that there is a red pill and a blue pill. It's called choice, right?
Yes. Yes.
It
And
fits.
it does take boldness to take that red pill. It
It
really does.
does. But I like that scene in the movie because it's explained so easily.
Hmm.
You take the blue one, you're going to just wake up like you were. It's fine. And you can.
Yes.
Nobody's going to judge that.
Yes.
You know? But if you take the red thing, everything is going to change.
Yeah.
But know that there's the choice. Somebody should write a book on this choice thing.
Yeah.
But we've got to know that there are choices to it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing that with people, especially coming out of our own testimony. And Eric, you have an amazing testimony, amazing heart
Mm.
for all the stuff that you've been challenged with, overcome, have victory in, that you would be a person that would stand by the thesis of red pill, blue pill, and you'd be heard because you're authentic and genuine. So
Mm.
I'd like to encourage you to just do it too.
Thanks, Helen.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay, Lana.
You're still muted. There
I
we
am not now.
There you
Thank you, Gil. This is fabulous. I can't wait to read your books.
go.
Um, I was just thinking like the Matrix for me is like that illusion. It's not truth, right? We've come to believe our boxes. And anyways, I loved how you explained it and everything else. And as you were talking, I realized I scratch my whole face hair all the time. What is this all about? So I got to go into that. But I was thinking I'm a nurse and I work on a locked unit where there's a bunch of people with dementia. And we have a little old fellow who doesn't speak, but he'll stand up numerous times in a row in a day, and he'll just do this whole up, down, and around. And then he'll sit down and he'll do it again. And there's one lady in particular that he just gets on her last nerve, and she's trying to get him to sit down. But I didn't realize what he was doing until you explained that today. But I went, whoa, this old fellow's got it.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Isn't it amazing that somebody'd have to be in that place and it's probably in that place they don't give a rip about other people's judgments and
No.
condemnation. They're just being themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just being
And it's
themselves.
beautiful. Like it is to watch him, it's so peaceful. And what he's doing, and it's like when this lady gets irritated with him, it's just like, no, no, no. And we try and redirect her and take her somewhere else. But yeah, you brought understanding to what he was doing. So, anyways, that's very cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you,
cool.
Lana.
Very cool. My itching is a new shampoo that I won't be using again.
Oh,
So
there you go. You got your answer.
I know. There you go. I okay. Eddie.
Sorry, sorry, I was on mute. Um, Gil, I love the part where you said maybe people didn't get it, but you said hodgepodge, and that just I laughed internally. But I'd like to tell you, I'd like to share that I was programmed to brought up programmed that limbs don't grow back, and you just if somebody loses something, it's going to be healed or not healed, but anyway. And I lost my finger, and went to the doctor, and the doctor said my option was that once it healed, he was going to amputate the bone, so that could be rounded and wouldn't hurt or whatever. And so I came home, and Helen and I talked, and Helen said, which two options are you going to take? And I'm going, there weren't two options. There was one option. And I said, didn't you hear him? And she said, well, how about the second option, to go with God? And I went, okay. So she said a short prayer, and she used the word restoration. And I'm going, when she finished praying, I said, do you know that you said restoration, and that's not healing to me? Restoration means restoring the finger. And anyway, so we went and did whatever, and all of a sudden the fingernails started getting longer, and then I looked underneath, and the finger had grown along with the nail, and like we went, wow. And so like when you talk about matrix, that little thing about my belief was broken right there. And I'm
Isn't it
so
amazing?
thankful that, like you're saying, that's not the only matrix, that's not the only thing that's going to be broken. There's 100 other things that I believe in, and I can change. So thank you.
Yeah.
You can show them your fingers. They're all there.
Wow. 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 Wow.
And like, I know that I'm showing you my fingers, but the bad thing is that a hodgepodge. But the bad thing is that Helen made me climb underneath the granary or the shed. She said, if you lost the doctor says you lost your finger, so where is it? And I'm going, well, it's underneath the shed. And she said, I want to see it. So I had to climb underneath, jack up the shed, and I say, here it is, and showed it to her. And then because you're a naturalist, you know that a willow stick looks like a finger, and you can draw a couple lines on it and glue them onto that fingertip. And so when I was a teacher, and when my kids said, what's wrong with your hand? And I said, I lost my finger. And then I went, oh, I just found it. And I'd pull it out of my pocket and show them that, like the nail, everything's there. But then one day Helen said, get rid of it, because she found it on top of the fridge. And anyway, we didn't need that part, because thank you. It grew back.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And that is so, so important because, my favorite verse, and I have it in my first book choice, I talk about it. Luke 10:19. Jesus says, I have given you all power and authority over the enemy. And that really has a lot of power in it. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Was Jesus serious? Was he lying? Was he out of his mind? I believe him. I believe he was telling the truth. And that the thing is, if there's any darkness that the enemy has over us, it's only there because we gave it to him.
Yeah.
If what Jesus said is true. So it's agreements, our agreements. And the third chapter of choice is all about agreements and understanding the power of your agreements. And yeah, so when you come out of agreement with something, now I think there may be in some cases, it's like, I believe I can fly. Now, I tell everybody, if you think you can fly, do not test it. If you can fly up to the top of a roof, then go ahead and jump off. But until you can fly up to the top of the roof, don't jump off, testing the idea. But because we can say, well, I agree. I agree I can fly. I disagree with that I can't fly. That's all good. But do you realize there's probably 1,000 other agreements that have something to do with that same idea that you're still believing? So I say, go after it. Go after it. Move in that direction to come out of all those agreements. And I believe you'll see miracle after miracle after miracle if that's what you want.
Amen.
If that's what you want.
And you know that I have a Bible translation. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Helen, do you remember? Anyway,
The pure word. The pure word.
the pure word. And and in there, I don't know if you've ever read it, but in there, almost every second word is choice. And it says Jesus chose to walk up into the mountain or whatever. And Jesus chose, or the disciples chose. And here you're talking about its choice. And you read the regular Bible and they went, or
Yeah.
they did this. But in this book, it says, and it's direct translation, and it says they chose.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
that's the thing is that when we actually start to wake up to the fact that everything you do, you're doing because you choose it. Now you may be on default mode and just choosing it out of default, but you're choosing everything because guess what? If you're doing something, you can choose to stop it.
Yeah.
You can choose to stop doing it. You
Yeah.
have the power.
Exactly. Exactly. I I like that. I use that in counseling a lot. When people say, "What can I do?" I just say, "Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the Bob Newhart way.
Just stop it."
Yeah, stop it. You have the choice. You have the power. Uh, anyway.
sorry, I'm running. I'm verbalizing maybe too much, but I remember Helen and I were at a conference, and she said, I'll pray for anybody who wants to. And this girl comes up, and Helen says, what's the problem? She said, I'm depressed and stuff like this. And Helen says, depression sucks, eh? And this girl just fell right down, and she was healed of depression sort of thing. She came up, and she was healed from, she had a lump in her breast. But I'm going like, it's not what, it's just, it changed her mind and stuff. And I mean, maybe I'm not saying it correctly, but I was witness to that, and it floored me.
I love it.
Oh, no pun intended, or pun intended. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get me to pray for you, says I'm a little unorthodox. Um, did I see somebody's name? Thank you, Eddie, for sharing. Thank you. Am I missing somebody?
Sonia
Sometimes.
had her hand up.
Who did?
Sonia did, but
Sonia, yes, yes, we want
I'm
to.
telling on you, Sonia.
Good, because sometimes the hands will go down, and Sonia, you're welcome. You're welcome
Can you hear me?
on the conversation. Yes, we can.
Good.
Yeah,
But
welcome.
thank you. I was really glad this was opened up tonight. Really glad to be here. I've been excited for this book. I've been in Gil's Choice, one of Gil's Choice groups, and it's been so rewarding. Even though there's been a lot of freedom in my personal matrix and then disconnecting from the corporate matrices, it's still been so rich and rewarding. Um, One of the thoughts that I had when my brain was kind of organizing the coming out of this book and organizing, okay, reflecting upon what I've known as matrices and what my brain has kind of organized from my own healing journey. And so I've I've recognized that the matrices in me have been within my own tissues, within my own spirit, within my heart, and each unique. Like, yes, they're connected, but with, having to uniquely look at each one, and then built around also emotional connection throughout my whole being. And then I've begun to recognize when I was training in something, or like prayer ministry, for example, I've taken lots of prayer ministry trainings, that I was also getting programming in certain matrices. That sounds good, but it also withheld me. I had to make choices, yeah, to be unorthodox as I wanted to move into more freedom. Another one was religion. Like, that is probably one of the biggest ones
Mhm.
in the doctrinal beliefs in Christianity.
Yeah.
And I've come into Gil's group of choice from a sabbatical. I no longer have agreements in a specific doctrinal organization. I no longer have a legal contract or agreement with a church or a church structure, governmental structure. And that in itself was scary, but brought so much freedom to see that matrix and come out.
Right.
And even with the freedom, I had a session with Gil, and I highly recommend this. Is why I wanted to share. I highly recommend working with Gil, because even if there was something you were curious about and not quite sure, you couldn't hit the nail on, the way Gil works through meditation brings so much freedom, but yet gently, powerfully, yet gently. So multi-level and hit some complexities, but yet so gentle, so wonderfully gentle. So I just wanted to share that. And I haven't read the book yet, but I'm really, really excited. I'm glad I could be here on the launch. I am from Canada. I'm coming from Northern Alberta, Canada. So it felt so right. I felt like as soon as the invitation came through email, I felt like, yes, Lord, I want to honor Gail from Canada. I want Canada to resound this message, especially right now. I could say so much more, but I'm I'm muting my spirit a little bit just so I don't go "Rawr" on the whole podcast on the YouTube channel. But I feel it in my spirit. This is a time of breakthrough. I come into unity and agreement with that.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
thank you, Gil.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
I love you.
Sonia. Wow. Thank you. Love you. Hmm.
Well, thank you, Sonia, for sharing that. Actually, very, very profound, and I haven't known that I can go to Gil for counseling. So I'm glad to know that, Gil.
Yeah, I've been doing that for the last year or so, and I really love it. And everything I've so here's something maybe a little unique about me. Um, Nicholas and some others who live here know this is like I don't listen to podcasts. I don't read other people's stuff because I've felt like my meditation time is so deep. I get these revelations, and that's everything in my books is from those revelations. It's not from stuff I've been listening to from other people, but then people will come along and say, "Oh, so and so's doing this and so's doing that." I'm like, "Well, there's my confirmation that I'm hearing from the same God they're hearing from."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love the meditation arena, and we do it in our inner circles. We have meditation time in every inner circle, and usually there's zonkers to where when we're done, a lot of people don't want to say anything when it's done. Some
Right.
people will share, but most everybody's just like, "We're done, we're out,
Yeah.
see
Yeah. Well, we have the same thing, and I agree. I that's why I'm so out of the loop too, because I don't want to be an echo,
Yeah.
you
Why?
know.
Well, here's the other thing. It's like, I mean, this has been probably 2 or 3 years ago that in meditation, I just know something was going on, a lot of argument and bickering on over things about, the Bible. And then I got to think about, it's like, well, there's people doing that in the Quran, and they're doing it over the Bhagavad Gita. There's all these bickering, all these debates, who's right, how to interpret these things. And it's like God said, well, why don't you just come to me? I inspired it all.
Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah,
Okay, I'm good with
I,
that.
that is so good. I'm good with that too. Good for you. Good for you. Kathy.
Hmm.
I have a quick comment, and then Kathy has something. I
Okay.
just wanted to thank you, Sonia, for sharing your a bit of your journey. I found it very encouraging that people in the States are also experience. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know you're in Canada. I'm teasing. We're from Winnipeg, so uh, but from Gil's group. Yeah, that was just really inspiring for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just wanted to convey a message from Gina. She said her Zoom went down and she's not sure why, but she wants to apologize to everyone that she didn't intentionally leave without saying goodbye. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I actually was wondering, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Sonia, thank you too from one Canadian to another. There's a number of us, or almost half and half. No, maybe not. Close to it. Canadian, American, and UK. Uh, thank you.
South Africa too.
All right. Well, I feel like the Planck family is supposed to be saying something. Is there something that, yeah, there you go.
It's so funny. I was leaning forward to hit my unmute. Gil, I guess COVID time seems like a lot of things happened for me during COVID time, but I found you and I did the Ultimate Impact with you for quite a while.
Mhm.
And it was just such just breaking the beginning of the breaking out of the matrix for me. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, she's out.
He's out.
I'm out of the
Oh, good.
box.
She is out.
She's out.
Oh,
You know,
good.
I think I'm sure there's still areas. I mean, I
Yeah.
know when I'm under pressure and stress, I'm like, oh my gosh, where's this coming from?
Yeah. We're all
So
growing.
there's always things, but I'm so delighted to hear everything that's going on with you. And I know when you were here in Austin, I loved so much how you would on Facebook, you'd be like, who's available to come to this coffee shop, and just talk. You're just so open and you just love people. And I love how all this has just organically happened, this unfolding and drawing of people with the same
Yeah.
heart and mind. So it's just so beautiful. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to your new book too.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see
It's
you again.
I remember, in fact, I quoted you just last small world. We're on the island of Dominica, and we end up hanging out with a guy from Canada. He was just there traveling, and we spent some good pool time together and just talking. And he kept apologizing for his language. And I actually quoted you when you and I were in the truck. Remember, we had a little discussion about curse words and cursing, and then the difference and just that little bit just stuck with me. So I was a bit of an echo, but I finally just, because one of the things you said earlier, just being who you are around other people changes the atmosphere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have found that, first of all, I haven't quit cursing completely. I'm around it all the time. I don't judge people for doing it anymore because I understand more people use it as punctuation than they do as
Yeah.
than to actually
Power words.
curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just that little conversation in the car, I got to share with him, and all of a sudden he could just talk to us like people instead of feeling bad about the way he was talking to us.
Yeah.
And it just
Freedom.
not disarmed, but yes, it was freedom. That's exactly what it is. And then he opened up, and guess you got a hold of him for prayer. And I know for a fact that that was a pivotal moment in him getting off the track of resentment and anger and vengeance, not vengeance as much, but resentment and anger for some trauma in his past.
Shut down.
You could see that he was still stuck in it and carrying it for years, but just hanging out with us and especially Elizabeth going, we need to pray for him, which for her is just, you know, hands on shoulder. But he came up to me later and he said, I want you to thank your wife. He goes, nobody's ever done that for me before. He's just never been in that circle
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
in that kind of river. But the power of just this, I'm trying to be humble about this, but the power of us just being relaxed and being there and listening and enjoying his company, the God in him.
Yeah.
We got to minister to him in a way that was different than we were trained up in praying for people. So it was really cool.
You know, go ahead.
But I got to quote you, and I also sent him or taught him heart-brain coherence, Helen.
Awesome.
Good
Awesome.
man. Good man.
Awesome.
You're on a roll with that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, you know, it's so it at least being on the other side of it and looking back, it's like, how in the world did we ever expect to really win people's hearts when we come out of the gate judging them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
but when you can love yourself fully and completely, and then you meet someone else, you're both of these things. You're one, you're curious about them. You just want to know them. You want to love on them. And two is you're there to share yourself. And if people don't like that, yeah, you're okay. It's like, okay, I'll move on. It's all right. But most people do want to be around somebody who really loves themselves well. And then when they begin to see that you're not judging them, damn, you got an open door.
exactly.
You know, I called those words power language. You know, they're not cursing. Cursing is when you're saying you're freaking stupid. That's a curse. But, you know,
Yeah.
when we're using power words, you know, just recognize that's the way people are using them, and they may be cussing you out with them, but that's the beautiful thing of when you can just let it go and still love them.
Yeah.
Still love them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really I've what I'm seeing in my heart and of where we're all going is coming because it's in our heart to be that person that is in that frequency in our excuse me, our standing in our own sovereignty in our frequency and be and I know that we have these scientific studies that say it goes out 6 feet. I don't think it goes out 6 feet, by the way, because that limits God. And
Right.
so I think that it continues, and we are going to be affecting not just the one guy sitting by the pool. We're gonna change the pool. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
and it's not even an arrogant thought. It isn't not trying to be humble. I just think that's what it's going to be. The end. It
Love.
no, yeah, there are no limits to it. We don't live in a finite universe. We live in one that's expanding. We are expanding, and we allow ourselves to roll with it. You,
Mm.
you do it all the time, Todd. You do it all the time. Home and business.
It is amazing what's happening. We're all just exploding out of the box, you
Yeah,
know, we're just
it is.
coming into this love. We're like coming out of the 3D, you
Yeah.
know, frequency. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing.
I
A lot
know.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Um,
organically just getting everybody into heart-brain coherence, which we should be living anyway. So this is good. This is good.
Okay.
Yeah, Helen, I'll never forget when she first taught it to us. We were like, okay, we'll do it in the morning and in the evening. Okay, no, we'll do it in the morning and midday and evening. And then someone was like, should we do it before we do an intention prayer? And Helen was like, it's time to grow up and it's time to live that way. And it just went, and I was like, oh.
Let's
Anyway,
live in
that probably
coherence.
sounds silly, but that was one of the big things for me is time to live that way. And I sure can tell when I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
tired, I'm hungry, I'm grumpy, name all the 10 things.
No, it's true. It's true. But we're learning that we don't pray, we are the prayer.
Right.
And in meditate, we have become meditative. And yes, we pull back into the seasons of meditation, but we become that person who is the meditation. We're the walking meditation. We're the talking meditation. We're the walking, talking prayer, the coherence. And we're growing into something that we didn't even have terminology for. But all of a sudden we look at it, that's who we are.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
And it's even getting better.
It is amazing. You can almost see and sense and understand when someone walks into your presence who is a meditator,
Yeah.
who spends time listening.
Yeah.
It's a big, big change.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Love it.
We've all been challenged by the silence, but we're all learning the beauty in it too. So it's
Hmm.
kind of cool. Kind of cool. And we're sure not alone.
Hmm.
How's everybody doing?
I have a question.
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
is the best place to get your books? Amazon?
Amazon right now is the only place to get it.
Okay.
I am going to be
And
branching out to a few other places, but currently Amazon.
okay, but right now.
Yeah.
And the other thing is your property is called The Pearl.
Hmm.
And how do you find out more information on that? I just missed when somebody was giving your email address.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's Gil at gilhodgesfreedom.com. And we have got to do a better job of getting a Pearl page on my website. Because we've got a lot to share and there's really not much there. I've got the manifesto there. And what's the other thing? Nicholas, help me out. What else have I got on there? There's a couple of downloads you can put on there. And in fact, Nicholas just put the link in the chat there, I see.
Oh,
Um, but anyway, there's a manifesto you can
thank you.
download. You can kind of get a glimpse and an idea. The manifesto, there's a lot of people that have reached out to me wanting to be a part, thinking they want to come live here. I don't want renters. I don't want people who just want to come and live on an eco village. I want people who have the vision and the heart for what we're doing here. And so I oftentimes send the manifesto out and some of the other documents, and I don't hear from them anymore, which is fine,
Ah.
which is fine. Um, because we're here to build something. It's an intentional community where we are wanting to live with the earth and learn to love better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Gil, I think you're doing an amazing job too. I really do.
Thank
I
you.
feel tonight we've just been blessed and expanded by being with you, and you've seeded something in all of us. And I know when this program goes out as well, it'll continue to do that. So just very grateful, very grateful. I'm grateful to catch up on your books, The Choice and Breaking Your Matrix. Well done, way to go. And we just bless that. We bless you. We bless the work of your hands, the work of your heart, and all of your intention for the future of it all. We're with you. We know how to hold that.
Thank you. Thank
Would
you.
anyone else like to?
I just one more thing. I love how you talked about um detachment to outcome. I don't know if that's how you said it, but
It's a good way to say it.
Good
Very
way.
good.
yeah, because I love how, you're so like just let your heart flow, let
Ah,
your fullness of your identity, as I am through me flow, and how it lands is how it lands. You know, our part is just let it flow. You know, we're undoing the things that keep it from flowing, and so I just love that. I was just seeing that as
Thank you. You
Yeah.
know, one of the concepts that I really, really love, and I didn't put it in the book. I literally didn't put it in the book for the purpose that I would share it in groups, but I'll share it with you guys because we're in a group. Um, but it's just a mantra. It's a simple little mantra, and it's been out there enough now that I think a lot of people have heard it. But it's just let go and flow. Learn to let go and flow. And for me, I put
yes.
flow together as an acronym because the F stands for frequency. You want to slow down your frequency in order to get into a pace of peace where you
Yeah.
can listen. Because if you can't listen, you're never really going to hear and come into alignment with who you are. So when you slow down and begin to listen, and you get the right frequency to where you're hearing what God's saying about you, and you come into agreement with that, when you finally have come into agreement with who God says you are, then you become open. That's the O. You become open to all that the universe has to give to you to accomplish what you're here to do.
Listen, open.
It's the law of attraction. It's going into that quantum space and just realizing that everything you need is already there, but it's going to come to you in its time. And so you're open for business now. So when you hit that frequency and you finally know who you are, the universe looks at you and says, "Hey, Elizabeth knows who she is now. Let's start getting her all the stuff she needs to do what she's here to do." Because if you're trying to act in someone else's programming, that's not what you're here for.
No.
You're here to be you. So once you're you and the universe opens up and these things begin to flow to you. It's so easy. You don't have to strive. It just begins to flow to you. And then oh, I forgot the L. Got to go back. So did the F, which is frequency, then is the L, which is then you're illuminated. God illuminates you. Okay, so your light comes on, you really begin to shine. The whole universe recognizes Elizabeth is shining. She knows who she is. And that's when it opens up. So I forgot that. That's when it opens up and the universe begins to bring everything to you. And then you're just sitting back through all this. All you got to do is slow down and get into God's frequency. The rest happens automatically. And then the W is you just get to enjoy the wake. You're like a boat going through the universe and you're creating a ripple effect all through the universe. And
Right.
now the universe is getting the Elizabeth effect, the Kathy effect, the Helen effect, everybody. But
Really.
if you're trying to be somebody else, if you're over there running on somebody else's programming, you're not being you.
Yeah, and when you're stuck, none of that is coming forth. Wow. Mm.
Brilliant. That's
Beautiful.
brilliant, Gil. Love that.
Yeah. But let go and flow. Let go of your old programming that's telling you to try to control that outcome and make it this way or that way and trust God.
Yeah.
You know, even when things are tough and they feel horrible, He's still going to work it for your good. He's working something into you or out of you.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow.
I
Thank you.
you just
Thank
said
you
that,
for
and I just
sharing
felt
that.
a bathing in that. Just
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like
Good.
this beautiful truth, just bathing. Thank you, Gil.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'll be back there in Austin in the middle of December. So maybe
Oh,
I'll
wow.
reach out and
Okay.
say hi.
Good. That's beautiful. The beautiful. That's worth the whole program. This is good. Nicholas, thank you for being here, and the mic is yours.
All right. Thank you for having me on, Helen. And I just want to endorse Gil too. I've been living here at the Pearl for a little over 2 months. I met Gil back in 2020 during COVID when I was on his Sunday gathering, and then we started working on a few projects together. And then I went off and became a little bit broader in my beliefs and went beyond kind of the fundamentalist frame. And then Gil and I met back up in recent times, had a few similar life experiences, and our journeys are weaving. I'm excited about his next phase, and I'm excited about his book release. I will say Gil moves beyond just putting out a book. Of course, like we talked about, he has these groups going on, and maybe some of you on this call or that listen in will become part of a community, because that's what we're moving towards. Is COVID helped us to start growing more in online communities, and that's where I met Gil. And now it could be in this next phase where we're going to have people living intentionally with each other as folks make decisions more and more to say, you know what, I want to live with my nuclear family, but with other nuclear families together on a bigger vision. So I'm glad to be weaving my life together with his in this new stage of my life. For me, it's opened up opportunities as I've moved away from some of the corporate structure I was living in, and the freedom of being able to explore some entrepreneurial stuff that I'm doing. And Gil, being an entrepreneur, has also encouraged me in things, and I ask him for advice and open to it. So we're just building things together. I'm building things here as part of his vision, and then when I have a vision, he's coming alongside. So together we can do more, and it's an exciting time. So glad to see you all, and who knows, maybe we'll group up online, maybe we'll group up together in person, and see each other in this next stage.
Love it.
Well,
Love it.
that was, yeah, well said. I think that's a nice template to just to know. And thank you so much. Just, I'm excited about what's going on at the Pearl. That's sort of it all,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And some things this last weekend just really catalytic to launching things even deeper, further, broader. But yeah, it's just, you know, and these things really seem to be just falling into place. I do get bent out of shape sometimes. Some of my old stuff comes up occasionally. Not everybody sees it. You know, I may be the only one that knows it, but I also try to be transparent and share it and just say, hey, well, this is where I'm at. But you know, because we're all on the journey. I don't, you know, I don't try to ever pretend that I've got it all together because I don't. But the one thing I'm learning more and more is I'm mellowing out. I'm stepping further and deeper into the heart of the Father and just flowing and just let things be what
Love that.
they're meant to be.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Well, I have it all together. I just forget where I put it.
Right.
Oh my golly. Maggie, did you write anything tonight? No. I'm watching you with your head down and thinking, is she writing over there?
I'm just taking notes. I'm just,
Yeah.
very, very bowled over by what you're saying, Gil. I have to apologize to you because I've kind of been judging you um, when I first came on, because I recognized you straight away. I thought, Kingdom Talks. Yes.
Yes.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, so I apologize. And I got into it, and I am just amazed at what you're doing. And I would just really love to join the group, and I'm excited about how you're transforming, I imagine, people's lives just with your own ministry. It's just so calming.
Yeah.
And I feel as if I'm being sucked in by your words as I listen further and further. So thank you for what you're doing. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
know,
Thank you. You know
thank
what?
you.
And I'll just say, you know, because, you know, some of you do know me from previous years. And if you have any questions at all, I am not offended by anything. You know, just go ahead and email me and ask me, what the heck? You are welcome to do it.
Yes.
So feel free, because I mean, honestly, if you know, why have questions when I'm very eager to answer any questions you might have. So.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
everything you've spoken tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. So just you guys got my email now. So send me a question if you have it, and be more than happy to have a conversation. I've even got on Zooms with people if they needed a more in-depth conversation. So I'm very open to that, and I don't ditch or diss on anybody. Don't need to. We're all walking our journeys, so it's all very good.
Yeah. Gil, there's amazing peace here tonight from beginning to end. So I want to say thank you for that. And I know I know actually there's going to be much fruit that comes from your sharing and your wisdom tonight. And for those who didn't know who Gil Hodges is, are going to be surprised. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for writing the book. You see,
Jen's cheering
Jen
you.
is absolutely in agreement, right? Yeah.
I love you, Jen.
I know. I know.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Mm, mm,
Well, we're 3 minutes to 9.
mm,
Um, Gil, I'm gonna leave you to have the last word tonight. Is
mm.
there anything that you would like to either impart or
Oh, well,
encourage?
that's interesting. You totally caught me off guard, but let's see what comes out. But I will just say that I truly, truly love each and every one of you. And that is something I hope that you really, really get and really, really feel. And I don't give a rip about what you've ever done, what you've ever thought, what you're thinking right now, what you might think or do tomorrow. I don't give a rip. I'm gonna love you no matter what, you know? So, just to be free to be able to do that, I just love what God's been doing in me. And some changes had to happen that a lot of churches and groups and people, um, you know, have been programmed to think that it's very bad and very wrong. And it's just programming. And the thing is, I recognize that. And so I can let them be, and I don't have to judge them, and it's all okay.
Yeah,
We're all on our journey. And that,
absolutely.
to be able to just walk out the journey, it's great to be with people that can allow you to walk out your journey. That's an awesome, awesome thing. And that's what I'm creating. That's what I'm wanting to, create for people. It's just a path. I'm not wanting anybody to be like me. I really don't want anybody to be like me. I want you to be like you, and I want you to be free and
Right.
to enjoy life. Your
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gil, thank you. And I
Mm.
just want to bless every one of you tonight. Thank you for coming together. Thank you for your sharing. Thank you for your openness.